Yeah, baby. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us at the America First Warehouse. I'm Kevin Downey Jr. I am hosting my own podcast called, very cleverly, the Kevin Downey Jr. Podcast. I think that's what we're calling. Be free, stay free. Fill that on. Great to have you here. Folks, I don't know if you're paying attention. I don't know if you saw the news today, but New York City continues its slow suicide into socialist. That's not even socialist. It'll start off as socialist. I'm going to go full-on Marxist. Zoltaire, I forget his first name. Mom Downey. I'm going to screw that name up all day. He's a radical Muslim and a communist, and he just took the step forward. He's going to run on the Democratic Party ticket to, he wants to be the mayor of one of our greatest cities. He used to be. It's kind of a toilet now. I lived there for many years, a couple decades and then some, and I loved it. But man, oh man, what those Marxists will do. they'll tear a city apart. They want you demoralized. They want you unhappy. And we're going to talk about this Mom Downey guy. He wants to replace cops with social workers. That way, when there's a naked guy with a machete, the last thing you want is a guy with a gun, because you might shoot the guy. They don't want their criminals being shot. So he wants to replace them with social workers. Now, how do I know he's a communist? Well, because if you look up the 45 goals of communism to take over the United States, one of them is replace cops with social workers. I kid you not. That's all part of the game. And of course, another one of the 45 goals is take over the world of psychology. Take it over, and you can decide what is and is not a mental illness. Oh, that guy, the one who shot up the Denny's, he's not a bad guy. He's crazy. He's got, and there's a million things. You could have bipolar, bilateral, by golly, you could have all sorts of different things. And they'll blame it on that. But anytime, folks, you know what? This is a great idea. Anytime you get the chance, check out the 45 goals of communism, because one of them, here's what I want to say. Once you see the goals and you know the goals, you can see what's happening in real time. So when Mom Downey says, I want to replace cops with social workers, you go, well, hey, wait a minute. That's one of the communist goals. That guy must be a communist. Wow, look at that. And we'll get into some of these goals later. I should have them put up on a big board. The only goal I really like is number 35, discredit and eventually dismantle the FBI. I wouldn't mind seeing that one. Does that make me a communist? Nope, it makes me a J6er who is happy he didn't go to prison. That's what it makes me. And, well, I will say this, though, the FBI completely taken over by the Biden animals. But, you know what's scary, folks? Scary, it's not enough that one president wanted to go full-on tyranny. It's that so many people were happy to go with him. All right? Happy to go with him. Lock up those MAGA meemaws. They're a bunch of animals. Got to keep them off the street. They hate. They're driven by hate. They've been taught to hate who? You and me. Because we're the good guys. And to the communists, the good guy, that's the bad guy. So this Mom Downey clown, he's it's the usual, no cashless bail, empty the prison, do away with prisons. He wants to tear down, maximum sentencing laws. He wants to keep people out of jail, all right? He wants to keep them out of jail because communism, what they do is they need you to be unhappy. They need you to be struggling to put food on the table, and they need you to live in a place that's so terrifying that you just want something done. Please, God, make all the crime go away. How do we do it? Well, you bring in the communists, and we'll clean it up. We'll clean it up, even though they're making the problem. But they need chaos. They need people to feel unsafe, and they need people to be struggling to put food on the table, because that keeps people easily controlled. They're going to focus on what they need to do to pay the bills, and they've got too much to worry about. They don't want to go out. The neighborhood's gotten kind of rough. Better just stay home. And, man, if someone comes along in the communist plan, they're going to kill them all, these criminals, eventually. That's what they do. They take over. Well, first of all, they rip your society apart. And then they say, we're here to fix it. We're going to clean it up. And that's what they do. And Mom Downey, Zoltaire. What is Zoltaire? Hold on. I think Zoltaire might be from the movie Big. Isn't there a guy, like a thing in a booth, and you put a quarter in, it tells your fortune. That could be Zoltaire. I don't know. I'll look it up on the break. But yeah, 24 years after blowing up the World Trade Center, the Muslims, that's who did it. The Muslims did it. The radical jihadi daddies. 24 years after that, and despite killing another 1,000 Americans, all because of Islam, the Quran tells them to do that. Whatever the problem is, I don't know. Yeah, and now we might have one in charge. And folks, this Mamdani thing, this is proof that woke works. All right. Now, what do I mean by that? We were told, we being white Westerners predominantly, you can't condemn, you can't criticize other minority groups when they do something. You just can't talk about it. Cannot. And that's what this is. And we know it works. We know this little plan works, this little subterfuge, because we see it in Western Europe every day. There is it sounds good, there's a rape epidemic in Western Europe. I think England probably has it the worst, but it's everywhere. And people don't want to do anything about it because it makes the jihadi daddies look like, makes them look bad. And they're here to take over. They don't care about you. British cops would not arrest any of these rapists, 85% of whom were Pakistani Muslims. We can't arrest the Muslims because it's going to look racist if we arrest the Muslims. Well, what happens when you don't arrest people? Well, they keep doing it. Keep doing it. They think up to 250,000 British women may have been raped or sexually assaulted, some of them more than 100 times. One woman I was reading about had 6 abortions. And they made it, you get an abortion or we're going to kill your family. And one guy told one girl, if you tell anyone I'm going to burn your house down, you and your mom and your sister. And he did it. He did it because she went to the cops. At first, the cops didn't believe these girls. A lot of these girls probably not from the nicest part of town. Probably not the nicest part of town. And some of them as young as 11. And the cops did nothing for fear of being called a name. Racist. You're a racist. I read about a woman who she didn't do it. She allowed doctors to carve up her 15-year-old daughter. I'll remove her breast. She's a boy. And someone said, why did you do that? And she said, well, I was afraid if I didn't, they'd call me transphobic. Transphobic. You know what? I'll tell you this. Say what you want about my daddy. He'd probably drank a little more than he should have, but if someone tried to clip my twig and berries, well, he'd beat the potato salad out of him. That's what a father does. That's what he should do. There's a mother just sacrificing it. No, look at me. I'm a good person. I feel such virtue now. Yeah, my daughter's never going to have kids. But at least I'm not transphobic. Now, the Muslim Brotherhood is credited with inventing the word Islamophobic. That's what they call you when you complain. Hey, I live in Detroit. I grew up there. I don't live there. You couldn't pay me to live there now. But let's say I live in Detroit, and I go, what's with all these Muslims and all this crime? Wow, how dare you? How dare you say that you're Islamophobic? No, it's what's going on. It's what's going on, you know? I'm not worried about trout, but I'll dodge a shark. I know which fish are going to eat me and which ones aren't. And I know sharks aren't technically fish, whatever. You see where I'm going, though. You see where I'm going. But this is proof that woke works. Because 24 years after killing almost 3,000 Americans, New York City just couldn't wait to send Zoltaire Mamdani, whatever his name is, to run, and he might win. Now, I have said this publicly, and I will say it again. If Curtis Sliwa can beat anyone, it would be Mamdani. But here's the important part, 2 things. Number one, he shouldn't have gotten this far to begin with, all right? I was just talking about this with a friend. This normalizes it. He might not win. He's, he was too much of a wacko. But now we're used to it. You know, like, I don't know, maybe on election night saying, we don't know who won. It's going to take about a week to figure out who won. That's never happened in my life. It happened in 2020. And when you know, 5 swing states stopped voting. Trump was winning in all of them, and he lost all of them. What are the odds? The odds are, no, that could not have happened. That's good. Those are the odds. Those are the odds, folks. But people forget. And not only do people not forget, people are warned, threatened. Don't you dare stand up for yourself. You're a racist. You're an animal. How dare you notice that the Muslims are raping their way across Europe? How dare you? Yeah, okay, maybe. Okay, yeah. 88% of worldwide terror attacks are committed by Muslims. Yeah. That's right. I've never seen a rabbi run in a room and yell, "Allah Moses!" Well, it doesn't happen that way. It's one group doing it, folks. I mean, by and large, worldwide, yeah. And yes, I know Muslims kill more Muslims with their terror attacks than anyone else. They hate each other. They hate each other, but they hate you more. And me. They hate the Jews more. And you know their plan. Yeah, I've said it before. First we kill the Saturdays, then we go get the Sundays. Saturdays being the Jews in this little dramatic recreation, and Sundays being Christians, like myself, and perhaps you. I don't know who's watching. But this is proof that woke works. Woke was intended to control people. It was intended to shut people up. Don't notice that. Don't talk about that. And we've got a lot of that. I remember living in Manhattan. The West Side rapist has struck again. That's victim number 11. And he's the police describe him as average height with an average build. Back to you, Marge. Well, hold on. You left something out. Is he a white guy? Is he Asian, black, Hispanic? What's going on? Well, we can't give that away. That would reinforce certain stereotypes that certain groups commit crimes. Folks, you need to know who's committing crimes. You need to know which food is bad for you. That way you can adjust your life accordingly, shall we say. But if I say, wow, sure are a lot of Muslims raping women, I better not take my sister over that place. Well, no, I'm doing the right thing. I'm dodging the trouble. But you can't do that. It makes you a racist. It makes you Islamophobic. If you don't want to get blown up on a bus, you filthy Islamophobe. There you go, folks. We have got a lot coming up. We're going to clown slap Zelensky a little bit. Remember him? No one's really talking about him anymore, and there's a reason for that. And I'll get into it. Folks, we've got more. Stick around. We'll be back.
I told you this was crazy. I'm out of here.
No do that. Free stuff for all. I have to be such a downer.
For you, bow to the master staff. Come to me.
Oh my God, this guy's from Jersey.
Hi, how you doing? Fuck off my stage.
I'm pretty sure I'm a woman.
No, you're not, Steve. Oh! Oh!
A little wet on my side.
Now instead of a poke, you're getting a smack!
What have I done?
My name is Elena Ruseva, aka Megalangela. Please check my art at www.megalangela.vip.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse. No, it's the America First Motor Club here in Ronkonkoma, 9013th Avenue. Sunday morning, we're opening up 9 a.m. Beautiful artwork from Nelson Medina. We just passed him over there. We're coming in Sunday at 9 a.m. hot. We're going to raise some money for our veterans. The event is free. You make some donations, buy a hamburger. There will be food, plenty of it. We love this country. Congratulations, President Trump. Congratulations to our country. One nation, under God. Sunday morning.
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
The America First Warehouse.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kevin Downey Jr. I am unwavering, I am unvaccinated, and I am completely non-suicidal. I like to think, you know what, I've got a radio show. I hope you're listening to that. It's public enemy number one to the New World Order. How do you find it? KDJ, where can we go? I'll tell you what you do. 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Just go to linewsradio.com. LI stands for Long Island. linewsradio.com and check it out. Check it out, Maine. We'll have fun there, too. Looky here, we're talking about Mom Downey, the wacko Muslim who is very possibly about to take over New York City. Now, Charlie Kirk, he wrote on Twitter, he said 24 years ago, a group of Muslims killed 2,753 people on 9/11. I think that might have been just in New York City, because I think it was closer to 3,000. Anyway, says now a Muslim socialist is on pace to run New York City. Now, Jessica Tarlov, she's a big old pinko stinko. I met her once, just dumb as a bag of hammers, but just locked into what she believes. A complete dedicated apparatchik. And she said to Charlie, she goes, Charlie, this is so gross and Islamophobic. Take it down. There you go. Islamophobic, a word, Muslim Brotherhood came up with that, to control you, to keep you from condemning Muslims as they burn the world down. All right, that's what that's for. And Charlie Kirk says, I won't read the whole thing. He says, well, why don't you debate me on the merits? Don't just throw out petty, thought-terminating cliches. This isn't 2015, and I agree. But what they do, they scared us into silence. You complain, you're racist, we'll have you fired. Some places, yeah, you might get fired. I mean, you could get fired. Something, let's say I said, hey, what's up with all these Muslim rapists? And someone calls my job and says, this guy's, look what he said. You know, he said, we got to fire him. Got to fire him. Or they go after your advertisers. They go after your sponsors. You better think the way we think. And if you don't agree with us, you better shut up. And he's not falling for it. And he just says, you're afraid to say what's real. Excuse me. Now, he's not being Islamophobic, all right? He's not. This guy, the Muslim Marxist, he wants to sanction Israel. Doesn't know why. He wants Bibi Netanyahu arrested. You can't do that. Oh, he didn't break it. He says if I'm mayor and Netanyahu comes to New York, well, we'll arrest him. We'll arrest him. You don't really get to do that. I mean, unless you're a dictator. Hello. And that's what he plans to be. He hates the Jews, folks. He hates them. And yeah, that's probably because he's a Muslim. I haven't met a lot of Muslims who are fond of Jews. I'm not saying there aren't some out there. I'm sure there's some that don't care. But there's a lot who do. There's a lot who do, baby. And that's what we got. Well, you don't know who's who. You know what? You're right. Look at it this way. Let's say, all right, you know, if you've probably got some blue-haired, man-bun, transamabob of a niece or nephew or something. Ask him, her, it, Xing, whatever. Ask them, if you've got a bucket, you've got a barrel. You've got a barrel of 10,000 M&Ms. And let's say of the 10,000, let's say 200 will kill you instantly when you eat them. 200 out of 10,000. Well, your odds of getting a good M&M, not bad. Would you let your kid eat one? Would you say, oh, go ahead, I'm sure you won't get the bad one? No. No, most normal people wouldn't. And what if it wasn't, 200? What if it was 7? 7 bad M&Ms out of 10,000. You still wouldn't, probably, I would hope, not eat one or give one to your kid. So until we know who's bad, who's good, I'll tell you one thing. One thing I do know, backed up by facts. There's one religion running around blowing themselves up in the name of their, I don't know, what is he? Allah. I forget his name. It's Muhammad. That's him. I don't know who Allah is. I thought Allah was, I don't know. I don't follow religions that blow people up. It's just kind of my thing. Call me what you will. But see, she swallowed the pill. Can't say that. That's Islamophobic. Islamophobic and sick. Folks, we were taught to feel that way. We were pressured to feel that way. Now, I don't know if it's here or not, but I told a story. The liberals, are so warped that some guy was giving the speech. He said, only a liberal woman will walk into an elevator, 11 o'clock at night. Sally's working late. Sally's a big old liberal woman, lives in New York City, and here comes the elevator, and she gets on. There's a scary-looking dude. Scary-looking dude. Maybe he's another race or culture or something. Every bone in her body says, don't get on. She gets on anyway. Why? To prove to herself that she's not a racist. And then she gets killed. When she gets killed. I had a friend, gay dude. He's my age, 59, and he's crossing 10th Avenue. And he's telling me a story. He goes, oh, I saw a scary-looking black dude. And something said to me, don't walk past him. Go over here and go cross over there. And then he thought to himself, my God, I'm so racist. I can't believe I thought that. I am so racist. So he crosses 10th Avenue at night at 43rd Street, and he walks past the guy. And as soon as my friend gets in the shadow, the guy runs up, puts a gun to his head, and says, give me your wallet, you bad word for gay person. And my friend didn't listen. I mean, he didn't listen to his instincts. His instinct said, that guy's trouble. But his social conditioning said, you're going to walk past him just to prove you're not a racist. I've been that way. I used to be a New York City liberal. Done the same. Well, I just got to prove that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Show me another animal that'll go, well, I know I'm a pig, and I know there's 7 coyotes right there, but I'm not a coyote phobe. Not me. I'm going to walk right past those coyotes, pretend they're not a problem, pretend they're not eating all the piggies around here. That's just fake news. That's fake news that the coyotes are eating all the piggies and all the chickens and all the hens and all whatever. Now, there's a reason we have instincts. Instincts are from nature, God, whatever you believe. Whatever you believe. But every animal has them. Everything knows when there's danger around, except for liberals. Not me. I'm not that person. I'm going to walk right in. This is a bad time, folks. Even if this clown doesn't win, we've gotten to a point where a Muslim socialist is one election away from running. I think New York City is the best city in the country, or it was. I don't go anymore. We have just as good food out here in Long Island. And I spend a lot of my time in Michigan eating the Coney Island hot dogs. You guys got to get a Coney Island hot dog. You can't get one in Coney Island. That's the weird part. Got to go to Detroit. But yeah, there you go. People are inviting their own death. And just look at the cojones on this plan. We're going to kill as many of you as we can. We're going to rape as many women as we can. But don't judge us. Vote for us. You better vote for us. You Islamophobic jack pudding. How dare you? How dare you stand up for yourselves? And you know what? You know what comes with Marxism? I will say also this religion of pieces. That's what I call it, the religion of pieces, because they blow things up into pieces. They're not really peaceful. You know what? I knew something was afoot right after 9/11. I was lying in my bed in Brooklyn, and the wind shifted. We could smell the bodies burning. Could smell my fellow New Yorkers' bodies burning. And there's George Bush on the TV saying, Islam is the religion of peace. No, how dare you? And I was like, is he just sucking up because he wants cheap oil? Where is this going? I really didn't know. I see now the New World Order. And I'll tell you, folks, China, Iran, or I should say Islam, probably from Iran. You know, I'm really hoping for a regime change in Iran. It can't be any worse. Well, and again, we had Cuomo, and we said, what could be worse than Cuomo? Hello, I'm Kathy Hochul. I'm going to mess up the state even worse. And she did. So let's do this one. I got a bunch of stuff here, and I don't really know what. I always bring a lot of stuff, but don't always get it. So you know what? Now we'll do that. I've got a video I want to show you because it's pretty hilarious. But look at this. This is CNN reporting how useless this attack on Iran was. The reason they're downplaying it because everyone walked around Sunday with a little pep in their step. Trump took out these Iranian nuke factories, whatever they are. And I mean, I felt it. I was like, yeah, finally. It's only been 46 years, 1979. I remember I was in 9th grade. I was in 9th grade, and someone came out with a song, Bomb, 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 Iran. I thought that was hilarious. 46 years later, we're still dealing with these people. Folks, this is the existential threat that does not go away. All right? Yeah, we blew up their nukes. You got to get people in charge who don't want to melt Tel Aviv. And who's next? Us. Remember, first we get the Saturdays, then the Sundays. That's going to be us. It's coming. Like General Patton said at the end of World War II, let me fight the Soviets now. We're going to fight them. Let's do it while we've got everything here. Now, Patton was wrong. We did not fight them. We had a Cold War for a long time. A very, shall we say, well, it was a good moneymaker for the military-industrial complex. A big moneymaker. So they kind of wanted to keep that going. But we didn't have to fight it. But we will fight these people. We will fight them, or we will sit back and watch them get elected because they vote. They vote their own people in, folks. Hamtramck now belongs to the Religion of Pieces, as does Dearborn, Dearborn Heights, all of these in Michigan. Hamtramck used to be a Polish neighborhood. That's where everyone's Polish grandparents lived. And I lived in a Polish neighborhood in Detroit, but everyone had family in Hamtramck. And they had a Polish mayor for over a year. Well, not one mayor. I mean, it's just all the mayors were Polish for over 100 years. All gone. And we were just talking about this. What happened? The Muslims took over. They won the mayor's race. They won every seat on the city council. And all the hipsters, all the, those chubby, green-haired tundra Wookiees, they want to have abortions, but no one will sleep with them. They were cheering, yay, we won. And then the Muslims said, yeah, and the first order of business, no pride flags on Hamtramck city property. And all the hipsters went, what? We're on your side. We just voted you in. You're not on our side. Folks, we'll be back.
The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler. Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly.
Well, Hitler was duly elected.
Let's deal with Hitler, okay?
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that is Mussolini Hitler-like language.
You say Nazi enough times, someone's going to actually have the guts to do it.
Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler.
What percentage of this event happening was due to Donald Trump's rhetoric?
Don't miss Trump next time.
What do you make of the excess deaths?
None of us, not the president, not those hypothetical guys in the smoky rooms fully know what's going on, but we can speak about the unfolding of recent history with certainty.
Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy.
That is not how it works. That is the threat to democracy.
No. No.
You anti-Semitic piece of...
When you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological bullshit.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? Vaccination.
Yeah, Yeah, baby. We're back, folks. We're back. The Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free. Stay free. Folks, I'll have you know, watching the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast, the side effects may include swelling patriotism, profuse laughter. You may also develop an allergy to pink-haired Gorgon chicks. As well, you're probably going to end up on an involuntary inclusion on a government watch list right there. Just a warning. It's coming. It's coming. Now, we've got a video here. We're talking about all sorts of fun stuff today, but I want to show you something. This is today's Democratic Party. It's always a Democrat. You'll never see Republicans do this. And I'm not a Republican. I'm MAGA, all right? There's a difference. But check this out. This is the mayor of some tiny toilet town in California. Let's watch what she has to say.
Cholos are at in Los Angeles, 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? Because
she's calling gangs to come out and fight ICE.
And this is 18th Street and this is Florencia. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood.
This is our hood.
And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang
come out and fight.
There ain't a peep out of you. It's everyone else.
Come on, you
not
cholos.
About the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up.
The gang life.
We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our turf,
protecting
our people, and like
protecting our people. Protecting our people who are the illegal ones.
Los chulitos, I'm like,
the illegal ones.
They're running amok all up in your
There you go.
Your streets.
This woman is calling for gangs to come out and fight ICE.
And peace.
And we'll let her
when
go.
The big gang guns come in.
Oh, there you go.
Like quiet, and we're out here, the regular
cholos.
ones.
When she says cholo, that means a thug.
Out
That's,
here calling things
Spanish
out, trying to organize people, trying
cholo.
to do the thing.
It sounds like a tasty Mexican
trying to
treat,
claim
but
no
it's
block,
not.
no
It's a thug.
nothing. If you're not showing up
There you
right
go.
now.
All right, I think we've had enough of her. We should get a machine gun sound to shoot her off. So that's doesn't matter. It's a Democrat. That's all we need to know. Runs a tiny town in California, calling on the gangs to come out. Folks, I've been saying for a couple of years now, I hate to say I told you so, but the cartels are in cahoots with the deep state. There's no doubt in my mind. They're obviously in cahoots with the Chinese because China sends them fentanyl and the gangs whip it up, do whatever they need to do. And then they, what they do after that is they sell the fentanyl. It doesn't always look like fentanyl. Sometimes it looks like, it could look like an Adderall. And then you don't know. They're just trying to kill people. And there she is, calling out. Now, I want to point this out. Well, good news, FBI is now investigating her. Thank God. But if you watch The Fall of Minneapolis, and by golly, folks, if you see any movie this year, let it be The Fall of Minneapolis. You can see how they used George Floyd's fentanyl overdose to make it look like 4 wicked, evil, racist cops did it. And no, they just wanted a reason to burn. And George Floyd was going to be the reason. But if you watch that, you will see some Al Sharpton type huckster comes out, and he's going to give a little speech on systemic racism and how bad the white people are. And he comes out and he says, well, first I want to give props to the Uptown Boys and some gang. And, the 58th Street Cholos, I don't know whatever they call themselves. And he, mad bomb shouts to the gangsters. Why? Well, because they're running, in a way. I don't want to say they're running this country. I believe they're a big part of the deep state. I believe they're a big part of China, if nothing else. China's killing 80,000 people a year with fentanyl. All right? In World War I, we were in that, let's see, I want to say, I think today's the anniversary. June 25th. Is today the 25th? I think it is. Yeah, there you go. It's the 25th. To November 11th, 1918. So we'll call it almost a year and a half. We lost 100,000 people. In a year and a half from fentanyl, we lost 120,000. So we're losing more people per year to fentanyl than we lost in World War I. And we're not even fighting anyone. And of course, the cartels are a big part of that. Now, when we see Democrats giving lip service, smoochy, to the gangbangers, what does that tell us? Tells us they're in cahoots. Or who knows? Maybe she just relies on them when it's re-election time. I don't know. But anytime you've got a politician calling for violence in the streets, go get those ICE feds. Come on, it's your turf. No. See, that's how you get toilet nations. That's how you get nations where, well, we're just going to do whatever we want. We don't like these people, so we're just going to fight them. We're going to kill them. You don't do that. You are uncivilized. You don't have society. What she's calling for, and you can dress it up a bunch of ways. You can break it down a bunch of ways. But what she's calling for is chaos. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, man, oh man, do communists love themselves some chaos. Remember, I believe the Baltimore mayor, I think her name was Muriel Bowser. Remember when Freddie Gray died? He was throwing himself around the back of a police van. He wanted to hurt himself so he could sue the cops, but he broke his neck or something dumb. And yeah, what happened was they tried 3 cops in a row, and they were all acquitted. And there were 3 more, and the judges said, no, this is dumb. This is dumb. It's a waste of time. None of these cops did anything. Well, what did Muriel Bowser say? She said, hey, you rioters, we're going to give you room to destroy. Room to destroy. She was allowing chaos, allowing it. All right? Now look here. Look how this works. You've got your Operation Mockingbird media mud puppets, and they're out there saying, yeah, man, the white cops are horrible. Cops sure hate black people. They really like shooting black people and killing unarmed black people and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not going to say that's never happened. I mean, I've seen videos of white guys getting shot. Remember that guy? He was on his stomach in a hotel room, and a cop goes, if you just crawl toward me with your hands on your elbows, and if you put your hands out, I'm going to shoot you. And so he's doing it, and his pants are getting pulled off. So instinctively, he goes, he gets a hand up, and he's gone. So don't say it doesn't happen to, I hate when they say, oh, they're out there killing unarmed black men. They love to kill unarmed black men. Well, they keep doing that. Now what do you have? You have a situation where cops are afraid to use their weapons on black people. Well, you're just going to get an Al Sharpton in front of your house. He's going to bring a bunch of idiots. They're going to be marching around, and your kids are going to get hassled and beaten up and blah, blah, blah. You see how the deep state works. You got the news saying, man, look at all this racism in the police department. And then you've got the mayor going, you know what? They're right. This is unfair. I'm giving you room to riot. No one said a word. Excuse me. BLM, I don't know if BLM was a big part of that, but they're letting people riot. If a mayor, let's say, and I don't know what the whitest state is, let's say there's a town in Wyoming, says, I'm going to let you farmers riot, people would go nuts. And they should. They should go nuts. I'm losing my voice. They should go nuts because that's not what you do. But we allow it. We allow it. You see what communism does, folks? It doesn't lift people up to be better. It pulls the better people down in with everyone else. Everyone else. That's why, the kids are playing soccer. We don't keep score. No losers here. Well, you know what? I learned a lot more about myself losing than winning. All right? You don't want that. Well, we can't have special classes for smart kids. That'll make the stupid kids feel stupid. Well, they're already stupid. They probably know they're stupid. Why hold them back? Why hold back the smarter kids? Well, it's not fair. It's not fair. Someone's feelings could get hurt. Remember, tyranny always comes disguised as virtue. We just want the stupid kids to feel okay. We don't want them feeling left out. And everything is like that. We're canceling Halloween. Poor kids can't afford a costume. Folks, as someone from maybe the not the nicest part of Detroit, I will tell you, we always had don't get me wrong, it was probably a pretty bad costume. One year, my mom cut 2 holes in a sheet and put a rope around my brother. And we're walking and said, you guys are a 2-headed ghost. Go have fun. It was horrible. Oh, you know what? Once, I don't remember. I had to be like 4 years old. Maybe 3. But no, it had to be 4. I wanted to be Mighty Mouse. So my mom, I couldn't read, so she wrote Mighty Mouse on my whatever T-shirt and put a cape around me. Then she took my dad's Beatles wig, I kid you not, and cut it up. Oh, man, that was inheritance worthy right there. Cut it up so I could be Mighty Mouse. And then the next year, still couldn't read. I just got into, I don't know, first grade maybe, and didn't know how to read yet. And I wanted to be Casper the Ghost. But we didn't have a lot of money. So went to the store, and there's a ripoff. There's like Gus the Ghost. And I couldn't read, so I didn't know until, I don't know, 40 years later, when I'm going through old pictures, like, hey, Mother, I thought I was Casper. You said I was Casper. It says Gus. Yeah, you didn't know any better. That's like the cheap rip-off version. That's where I'm going with that. Cheap rip-off version is where I'm going with that. But you can. My point is, you can get a costume. That has nothing to do with making the poor kids feel good. That is erasing our culture. That's what that is doing. Get rid of these holidays. No, that's very American. We don't want any Americana. Wipe that off. Again, we're doing it so the poor kids don't feel bad. No, you're not. You're doing it because you're a filthy communist, and you're trying to unravel our society. You're trying to do away with our culture. And that's what this is, folks. Remember, who hates our culture? Who hates it? Well, I do recall the Muslims saying, a lot of them saying, man, we hate Western civilization. We'll move to the United States and we'll get educated there, but we're going to tear it all down. Some of those knuckleheads up at Columbia University doing that. Tear down Western civilization because it's unfair. I mean, it's built on racism. We've got to tear it all down and build it back up again. Fair. That means you're talking to a communist, folks. There's no fair in communism. There's no fair in communism at all. And hold on. I'm not defending Nazis. I'm just saying if you're doing body counts from Nazis and communists, well, the communists have killed way more people in the 20th century. Way more people. We know that. And that's because in the war between the Nazis and the communists won. And we were on their side, sickly enough. And it would have been great if they both just pulverized each other and couldn't come back out of the shell. Folks, we have one more segment on the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free, and stick around. It'll be fun.
Corrupt judges, broken families, families torn apart. This isn't justice. If you've been wronged by the system, join us. Don't stand alone. Hi, I'm Gary Jacobs, president of Americans for Legal Reform. We're the oldest legal reform group in the United States. The justice system in the United States should be transparent, fair, and open to everybody and accessible. Unfortunately, many times that's not the case. At Americans for Legal Reform, we are here to help. Join the movement. Visit AmericansForLegalReform.com and help reform the system before it fails you.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Welcome, everybody, to the not-so-newlywed show, where three couples are going to compete for really great prizes. Okay, Donna, we asked Mike, who complained first on your honeymoon, you or him?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he said...
Lisa, this ain't the SATs. Just tell us what... Donna, who complained first on the honeymoon?
I'm sure it was me, but I have no idea what
Shauna is right.
No, it's always me.
What celebrity would you pick for a one-day pass?
For me?
Yeah, for you, not for him.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon! Wow! Who do you hate the most on her side? That rotten no...
There are so many choices.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming out.
Hi, my name is Elena Ruseva, aka Megalangela. Please check my art at www.megalangela.vip.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
And we're back. Excuse me, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're just talking about a lot of things. But we had that knucklehead mayor in California coming out saying, hey, where are the cholos? Come on out and fight ICE. This is your turf. No, this is our country. And we don't do that. But, well, we don't. They do. Folks, look at this. I'm looking at, looks like Representative McIver pleads not guilty to assault at an ICE facility. Huh. Well, that's more. She's a Democrat, of course. More Democrats, once again, more Democrats fighting ICE. They're all about fighting ICE now. That's their whole thing. That's their whole thing. You know what? I don't see any politicians who are fighting ICE. I don't see any who are wearing MAGA hats. Not one. They're all communists. All filthy communists. And they're getting away with it. What I think Trump needs to do right now is come down really hard on these miscreants. You really got to come down on them. Put some in jail. Right now, goodness. Now, keep in mind, Joe Biden didn't like locking up his street thugs, his Antifas and his BLMers. Let them go. Let them go. Right after he took over, I remember dropped roughly half of the federal charges against Antifa, in Portland alone. In Portland, they're just doing things like, throwing frozen bottles of water at cops and trying to blind them with those little things you play with the cat with, those laser things. Wow. That's what they should have done. They should have released like 1,000 house cats and then gotten a bunch of those and then you run them at the cops and the cats go, don't do that. That's a joke. Come on. That's a joke, DOJ. You know me. I almost went to prison for Trump. I'm clearly on his side. But, yeah, there you go. There you go. More, it's always the Democrats fighting. If they're not fighting ICE, they're calling for other people to fight ICE. And that's what they're doing. Folks, how clear does it have to be? How clear does it have to be before we go, okay, we know the Democratic Party is now officially the Communist Party of America. And I get it. Plenty of rhinos in on the game, too. Looking at you, Lindsey Graham. Looking at you, Mitch McConnell, even though you can't tell I'm looking at you. Not because I'm not in the same room with you, but because you're a human statue. You don't know what's going on. Why hasn't he left? Why hasn't he left? He can't. He owes the Chinese. I'm not sure if you know this. His wife is from China. And how did Mitch McConnell get rich? The Chinese said, hey, Senator McConnell, she got a nice Chinese wife there. We're Chinese. We're China. How's about if we give her a shipping company? Well, she doesn't have any money to start with. Well, we'll give her the ships. She can pay us later. Oh, okay. That's why Mitch McConnell is rich. Mitch McConnell has been called to China 4 times, as I recall, not as a senator, but as a citizen. And they sat him down and said, hey, Mitch, we don't like what you're saying. Well, you don't go to understand. We're paying you. Shut up. Say this. Do not say that ever again. Do you understand, Mitch? Or we'll put your whole families. I bet you they flat out just said, we'll kill your wife's family. That's what they do. They'll humiliate first, and if they still can't control you, they'll imprison you. And then, sometimes they'll just kill you. That's what they do. And that's what they want to do here. It's coming here, folks. It's coming here. You're the tip of the spear. You are. You're the one who's going to get the lefties. I don't mean the lefties, sorry. The normie neighbor types. You're going to get them to notice. We got enough of them to notice for Trump to win. It's all crashing down on them. All of this Marxism is crashing down on the Marxists. It's hilarious. They're in panic mode, but they don't have a plan B. They just have their handbook, and they keep pushing that. Welcome. We got to do it. It's like, imagine you got a football team, and we're gonna do a shotgun formation here. Well, but it didn't work. We did it the last 10 times. It worked for a while, and now it's not working anymore, Coach. That's the only one we got. What are we going to do? That's why. And now they're just kicking it into overdrive, folks. Kicking it in. And let me tell you this. So many people I know in the middle, good people, normal people, they think, well, Trump won. It's all over. Not even close. Trump's election night victory, well, that just gave us the opportunity to fight from a better position. If Kamala had won, you wouldn't be watching me. I'd probably be in prison, and I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that. Now, Trump blows up. Let's do this. The more Operation Mockingbird stuff. Trump blows up, but our Air Force, they blow up these nuclear things. underground in Iran. And remember, everyone woke up, pep in the step. They had to lie. They had to lie about it, as I was saying earlier. And they just wanted to take the victory from him. That's what they wanted to do. So CNN says, we have 3 anonymous sources saying that it didn't do anything. And of course, everyone I know on the left believes it. These are people who still think January 6th was an insurrection. Ivermectin is horse goo. And if you get the vaccine for COVID, you can't catch it, and you can't kill your grandma with it. See, but this never made sense. This never made sense. So you know how I said I was watching George Bush, Islam, the religion of peace. And I said, well, I smell a stink badger in the perfume aisle, because that's not even near close. Another thing I have noticed about like the things they do, things that the communists do, well, if they don't want you to know about something, you won't know about it. But now, what they want you to know, and it's not true, is that those nuclear things were not destroyed. They want to take Trump's victory from him. And they're all, there you go. There you go. And of course, your green-haired Gorgon friends, they believe it, even though they've been lied to so many times. And now the CIA's come out and said, yeah, we really got it. And the IDF has come out and said, man, did we blow that thing up. But nope, those idiots they just won't let it go. They have to keep fighting. It's all they know how to do is fight, fight, fight. I'm out of ammo. Let's keep fighting. They've got nothing. The good news is every time they do something stupid, whether it's AOC and Bernie Sanders embracing whatever the Mom Downey guy is, a normal person walks away every time. Look at this, Erin Burnett from CNN. She said, I was in Tehran, and those people were really nice. Even as they're chanting death to America, they were so nice. No, they want you to die, you idiot. Well, they're so... Now, she's defending people that want to kill us. Why is she doing that? Because she's a communist. She gets paid nice money to put out a little smile and say, yeah, man, those Iranians were nice when they were chanting death to America. And I was in Tehran, and I was hanging out with them going, these people are pretty cool. That's our new fiery but mostly peaceful protest right there. That's what that is. That's what that is. Folks, it's not true. Those things are from every reliable source I've seen. Those nuclear things are gone. They're just gone. And there you go. But they're going to keep lying about it because they have to. It's all they know. All they know. Erin Burnett. And now here's another one. Erin Burnett. Man, she's a real wackadoo. Real wackadoo. Same woman who said, I was in Tehran, and they were nice when they were yelling, death to America. Look at this. She went on to say, this is last week, there's no reason, and this is before they blew up anything. Iran's years away from a nuclear bomb. We don't need to do this now. This is Trump just trying to blow people up. We're years away. Then Trump blows it all up. And then she has the audacity, the stones, if you will, to come on TV and say, oh, no, we didn't blow it up. And besides, it's stupid. We only set them back a couple of months. They're going to have a nuclear bomb in a couple of months. Wait a minute. You just said it was a couple of years. Now, it's a couple of months. We just said they'll be back. They'll have a bomb in a couple of months. So which is it? She can't even keep her lies straight. She can't keep it straight, folks. Then again, remember, the communist doesn't care if you call them a hypocrite. They do not care. They know they're hypocrites. They'll kill their kids. Why do you think Hamas puts their bombs and their guns and their guns and their bombs underneath a kindergarten? Because they want the kids to die. He's blowing up our kids. These Israelis, they're a bunch of animals. Well, hold on. They're blowing up the bombs that you hid under the kindergarten so that you could say, oh no, genocide. Now, only the idiots buy that. No one paying attention can think there's any sort of genocide of Palestinians going on. Okay, so KDJ, there's no genocide, but I want Israel to get out of Palestine. Well, they got out in 2005. Oh, no, they didn't. CNN never said that. CNN told you ivermectin is horse goo. Just shut up, Fox News idiot. That's who we're talking to. That, folks. And now, don't get me wrong. I try not to fight on Facebook with bozos, but sometimes they just really steam my clams, and I got to jump in. And Erin Burnett telling lies for the Communist Party, getting rich doing it. Now, here's one more commie-related thing I want to get to. So the communists want your kids. They want your kids. They want to turn them into transmobobs and cut off their wieners and all sorts of fun stuff. Remember, anytime you hear it takes a village, if someone says that, you're probably talking to a Marxist. And that would include Hillary Clinton. Absolutely. Look at this. The teachers union just dominated. The whole teaching industry dominated by filthy, disgusting Marxists. Her name is Stacey Davis Gates. And she said, the children are always ours. Every single one of them all over the globe. Now, this is a woman who runs a teachers union. I should have said that. And she mocks any parents who respond to her. If you don't agree with her, she'll mock you. If you say, no, my kid is mine. Well, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Because one of the 45 goals of communism was to take over the schools and get that Marxist curriculum in there and get anything anti-Marxist out. I went to school in, St. Peter and Paul in Detroit, Catholic school, until from 71 to 76, first through sixth grade, all right? And I don't remember talking about communism. Not once. We talked about how bad the Nazis were. And, Soviet Union, those were our allies. Well, kind of, sort of. I mean, we gave them Sherman tanks and P-39 Tomahawks and all sorts of fun stuff. But Tomahawk, that's a fighter plane, not a missile. But they took over the schools. They need to, and one of the 45 goals is decry the family, the nuclear family, and try to separate kids from their parents. That way we can indoctrinate them. We can get them to do whatever we want. Whatever we want. Now, let me just run this past you, because this doesn't get the attention it should. Okay, it's going to take 2 seconds. This guy, he blew up a fertility clinic, and he just got a couple years in jail. And no one's talking about it. They've blown up 3 or 4. Folks, these people aren't pro-choice. They're anti-human. They don't want us to be born. I'll get into that next week. See you tomorrow. Be free, stay free.